Welcome to my channel, and today we're preparing lunch. Now you're going to hear some moving around because this is live action, real life, and my husband is literally loading the dishwasher right now, and I got you staring at a plate. He's rinsing out the items. Hold on one second. Okay, he had the water running in the background because we pre-wash the dishes before putting them in the dishwasher. And I'm gonna give you all a tip right off the bat. I don't know if you've seen that commercial where it's like,
It's lies.
don't wash your dishes. You could just put them in there and hit the start with the dirt on them and the food and everything. That people don't do that. That's just a marketing ploy for them to ruin your dishwasher. Just like they say it don't need to be full before you run it. Well, you're putting a full pod in there or full, dishwasher liquid, whatever you use. We actually use the pods. We fill it to the brim to make sure that we get the wash capacity. All the dishes come out clean because we pre-wash them. And we haven't had a problem with our dishwasher being gunked up or food getting down in the trap and all that. And it's just been running strong. So at least rinse the food off your dishes before putting them in your dishwasher, so that way you won't have any issues going forward. What is that pot for?
Hot dog? Is that what we're making?
We're gonna do the leftover hot dogs first.
Oh.
But you can leave the water in there because I can make some more. Like I said, we're planning on having hot dogs for lunch. We had hot dogs for dinner yesterday. So today we are going to finish up the hot dogs that are in the refrigerator before, starting a new batch, which I'm going to actually take you over and show you what we do in our refrigerator. And another little tip is when we put leftovers in the refrigerator, we make sure that we work our way, for us, it's on the right side, usually. So we'll move everything to the right side, which I'm going to show you. So that means that needs to be used up first, if possible, before going into another meal or opening up something else for lunch, breakfast, etc. So I'm going to spin you around here so you can see the inside of the refrigerator to give an idea of what we're talking about. Alrighty, here's our refrigerator. Now, had to take my glasses off so I could see how the bifocals in it, but can't see with them on and off. So here's our refrigerator. For example, here I've got the top there in the white bowl. That's the spinach. And what we do is we went ahead and prepped that earlier today, which I'm going to have my husband come and take that out. You could probably come on around here, honey. Grab that spinach out from the very top. No, the one in the container, the white container. Yep. Just set it on the counter. I'm going to show them that real quick. And what I do is, because I like to take the leaves and separate the stems from it, so it's not so difficult to eat. So went ahead and prep that. So the only thing we have to do is rinse it. Now it comes pre-washed, but we wash it again. So we always wash our produce, whether it's pre-washed or not. You can put that on the counter, especially if we're going to eat it raw. Now, if he's putting it in a wrap and forget to wash it, then that's fine, but not raw. And another thing we're going to go ahead and use up, let me go, is right there, is a little bit of rice. So we're going to put that in the toaster oven, and then that rice I'm going to add to the salad. I know it sounds weird, but rice in a salad is delicious. So that's that rice, the never-ending rice that I've been telling you all about that we cooked up. So we're going to take that down. Okay, I'm going to set it down here on the ledge. All right, now in the back there, avocados. Now we keep our avocados in the refrigerator, and I tell you why, because when we went to the store to get avocados, the girl was putting them on the shelf and they were frozen. And when I talked to her, she said that they keep them in the freezer because it helps preserve them. So I just go ahead and take mine and put them in the refrigerator there, so that way they last a long time. And then I'm going to show you another little tip here, if I can grab one. Okay, you see here, which I've already pulled that one off when I checked it in the store. This avocado, if it focuses, see how it's frowned? That's ready to use. Now in the store, if you pull that little cap off, it should be like a vibrant green. If it already looks like that, that means you need to use it that day, because it's ready to use, it's ripe. If it's vibrant green, you got a couple days. So we've had these for a couple of days, so we're going to go ahead and use that one. Probably not for today, but I'll use it tomorrow. Now it's still going to be good, but you don't want that to turn black, it's going to be overripe. All right, now here's some turkey. Let's move back up. Some turkey pepperoni. See how we're on the right side of the refrigerator? Everything over here is the newer stuff, or things that, you know, we don't have to use right in a hurry. Like there's some broccoli, there's some mushrooms, some spinach, some tortilla wraps. If you want to put that in the toaster oven so it can start heating up. Some tortilla wraps, broccoli, spinach, our pre-cooked bacon. All right, and as you can see in the back there are the new mini peppers, and then in the front are the peppers that we have to use before opening the new bag. Now back over here. Now what I'm going to talk to my husband too, so we can get our dinners going here, or our lunch. When I say dinner or lunch, what time is it, T?
3:04.
It's like 3:04, so we're having something to eat now before heading out. And that beeping is our refrigerator saying that I'm open, which I know because I open it. Here's the leftover chili from the hot dogs. So my husband's going to take that and put that in the toaster oven. And then here, he's going to, I think there's 4 hot dogs, T.
Cool.
So we're going to use up the hot dogs. So he's going to take the lid off, of course, and put that in the toaster oven. And so everything goes, and you see how we're using everything up that was on the right side of the refrigerator. And so let me take this out, and I'll show you what that is in a minute. I'm going to take that out because I'm going to use that. Now we're going to slide, that's my son's lunch meat. We're going to slide that over. I'm going to take these out because we're going to put those on the salad. And then we're just going to slide what was there over. So that way we know that we've used the leftovers on this side of the refrigerator, and then we can go ahead and transition to new things. Let's see here. Tip. Okay. And down here, we do the same thing. Now in this jar, it's not pickle juice. That is our tea that's left over. And when we brewed another tea, which this one's green tea, and this one's orange poke black tea, we made sure that my husband's touching the lights to try to keep him from making a noise, which is fine. We'll use this up first before getting into this tea. So if my husband wants tea with his meal, or if I have water or tea, whoever wants it, we'll use up this tea before starting on this tea. And this is the tea that my son drinks. So before, you know, we make some more tea, he'll drink this up, and then we'll do some fresh tea. And then the same thing, the new milk's in the back, older milk in the front for my son. And then here, we'll buy our milk, our creamers for our coffees. And the reason why we buy so much, because everybody in the house drinks coffee. And also, it's a hit or miss if they have it or not. So when we see it, because it comes in a dual pack, we'll pick up a pack. And of course, when we'll spin around and show you the door, we got the one that we're using in the door. So when we finish with that, we'll undo another one, put it into the door, so that way it's rotated out by the dates. That dressing is good. That's what we're going to have too. On top of here, where we had some apples, we saved the core and the peels, and that will go out to our chickens for snacks, so that doesn't go to waste. So that's in there for them. And it's just become a refrigerator tour. Hold on one second. Hun?
Yeah.
Could you put this on the counter so I can show him the cheese drawer while we're doing this? While he's moving this. Yeah. And then here's the milk. That's that creamer that's in the door that we're going to use up first before starting a new creamer. Okay. Thank you. Now here's our cheese drawer and our condiment drawer. And what we do is we'll buy the cheese when it's on sale, or we'll get it from the big box store. And this is what we need to use up first before opening the newer cheese. There's our condiments back there that we keep and have kept from restaurants over the years. Yes, I did say over the years. Here is more block cheese and butter. And what we'll do, if this butter, if we don't use it by September the 25th, it'll transition its way into the freezer. My husband's meat sticks and, what is these? Yeah, the turkey sticks and cheese sticks for work. And then in this drawer is Gatorades, ginger ales, Body Armor. I think there's one cream cheese because it wouldn't fit. I think there's, yeah, both of our cream cheese bar. I got a funny story to tell you about this. Now, you know, we do a lot of, I do a lot of breads with cream cheese and say jams or jellies or spreads, okay? Now, the cream cheese in the tub, the name brand was like almost $5. It was like $4.79. And then the store brand in the store, you know, their store brand, what in the tub was $2.69, if I'm not mistaken. So it was expensive too. Well, I got the, you know, we're just sitting there looking like it's got to be a better option. Well, lo and behold, cream cheese bar, which is this cream cheese in a bar, is $1.50. So we got 2 for $3. Score. And what we'll do is when we'll open it up, and like say that container that the hot dogs were in, we'll just put the whole bar in there after it's cleaned, of course, not on top of the hot dog cheese, but once it's cleaned. And then we will sit there and just cut it off, and same thing, much cheaper. So that's a little tip. And then here at the bottom, we did the same thing with our, these are our, this week there was like sausages and hot dogs and things of that nature on sale. So we have them down here, of course. If we don't use them up before the expiration date or getting close to the expiration date, they will transition to the freezer or deep freezer. And then here, which was a good find, let's see if I can just tilt it up so you can see it. The beef bologna 2-pack. Now, Kroger had theirs 1-pack for $6.99 for the bologna. And it wasn't even a full pound, I don't think. Anyway, I was like, I couldn't even touch it. I was like, that price is too high, too hot. So we left it. Now, when we went to our big box, you know, where you have to have a membership to shop, we went there. They had 2 packs of bologna for $9.99. So, of course, we got that. And will we eat this much bologna? No, but what we'll do is take parchment paper or wax paper, and what we don't eat when it get ready to come to the expiration date, we will put it on the wax paper, freeze it, and then that way when we're ready to, you know, and put it in a Ziploc bag, a freezer safe bag, and then when we want a piece of bologna, we'll just take it. You know, you're going to leave the parchment paper in between so it don't stick together. You just pull it apart and you'll have you a single serve piece of bologna. All right, so that's our top part of the refrigerator. And hold on one second. Let me get something out here and then we'll talk a little bit while we get some more things together. Okay, we're back over here. What I did is went ahead and put some, now when you do your lettuce or your spinach, we use spinach. We put some water on it to vibrate it back up, if that's a word, to hydrate it. Because right now it's looking a little, see how it's starting to get crisp already? So by just putting a little bit of cold water on it, it'll help spring your wilted. Now, if it's too far gone, there's no help for you. You're just going to have to throw it in the compost bin. if that's what you do. But if it's starting to get a little like, it looks like it's thirsty, just put a little cold water on it, and it'll just hydrate it and get it crisp right back up for you. Okay, so that's what we're doing because it's been sitting in the refrigerator prepped. Another thing, when we say prep, I don't mean that, now if you decide to, fantastic, because we do sometimes too. I'm not saying that you have to go through, you see where they're cooking chicken and their broccoli and their rice and they're putting it all in a pre-portioned container. Fine, if you do that, great. But for us, half the time, our prep is just making sure like we have the lettuce in the bowl ready with the stems already pulled off, right? Another prep that we do, whoops, there's a little piece of spinach on my hand. Another prep that we did was we went ahead and in the air fryer earlier this morning, we put the whole the whole sweet peppers that you saw in the refrigerator in the air fryer. Now, because we're going to add them to our salad and see how nice and soft. So that way it'll be soft instead of crunchy. So those are cooled and ready. So when we go to add those to the salad. Now another tip for you. Now who doesn't like some kind of bacon bit or meat, whether it's turkey, ham, etc. on top of your salad? Well, we're out of bacon bits. No worries. Bacon bits are just a dehydrated form of a meat. So if you have jerky, like we have this grass-fed mango habanero jerky, now we put it in the refrigerator. A thing about jerky is if you do not use it, especially if like our house stays warm, and it will mold on the shelf once you open it. So we go ahead and put it in the refrigerator so that way it stays nice and cold until we have time to use it, especially a bag of this size. We've been working on it for a while. So what I did was I took this jerky, any kind of jerky that you have. It don't even have to be jerky, turkey pepperoni. If I didn't have this, those meat sticks that was in the refrigerator for my husband's snack, we would have cut one of those up and put that on top of it instead of bacon bits. So what I did was I opened this up. Now we poured it out because we tried to put our hand in there as much too because we don't want any bacteria in there to ruin that jerky. Now does that probably look the most appealing? No, but what we did was we cut it up and just use kitchen shears, and we put a little bit of ranch in there because it's going to help soften it up a little bit because it's in the refrigerator, and that is jerky. When I say jerky, like you're chewing for 20 minutes. So that way it'll hydrate it. I'm going to get my husband tea to a taste of it and tell me if it's soft enough. If you'll grab a fork, I'm going to get you to try this. I'm showing them the jerky that we cut and put in this container to use on top instead of bacon bits. So way nothing goes to waste. I had to take the fork from him so he don't get too much out of there because it's for our salad. I got to watch him, I got to watch him.
Always trying to starve.
He's done well too. He's lost over 100 pounds as well.
Yeah. How did you make it so soft?
What I did was add some ranch dressing.
Because it's usually kind of
Yep.
tough. Oh, that was good.
So what you do is, and it softens it right up, and then that way you can add it to your salad. Now, do you have to put dressing on it? No, but I prefer to because it just makes it easier to chew, and we will portion that out and put it on top of our salad. Another thing that we're going to add to our salad, we were going through, now every time we leave the house, we take a bag, whether it's with water in it, snacks in it, so that way if someone gets hungry unexpectedly, thirsty, we have something to grab instead of stopping and getting something. So as we were going through this cleaning out that bag, in one of the pockets there was one more of the 100 calorie almond and walnuts that my husband usually takes for lunch as a quick little snack. That's the last one left. We're going to add it to the salad. Okay? And then we have our trusted jalapenos. We're going to add to the salad. See how the salads has come together with what's left over? And then since that's just a small 100 calorie pack, these were in the refrigerator just to preserve the life of these lightly salted pistachios. That's how many are left. We're going to add some of those to the salad. And then in the garden, yesterday, we got one little tomato. It still got some green on it, but that's okay. We had to get it before the birds and the girls, aka chickens, out there get it. We're going to add that to the salad. So I'm going to put you on a quick pause while we're waiting on the hot dogs. And we're going to show you what everything looks like put together by using what was in our fridge. Okay, so here's the water from where we had rinsed the spinach off. Now on that pack, it had said that it was triple washed. But look at that water. I don't know if you can see. And that's just regular tap water. That's why I think it's important. Even though if it says that it's already washed. Now, yeah, the green is the actual spinach. But you see that? Those particles in the bottom there? That actually looks like dirt. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? So that's why even though it says it's triple washed and ready to eat, we still wash it anyway. Now we don't have a salad spinner, but I'd rather that to be in the bowl, which I'm going to have my husband take this out and pour it into the jalapeno plant instead of pouring it down the sink. And then there's my lettuce bowl. Now, does it have a chip on it? Yes, but I love this bowl. It's little. It's got that green and white spots on it. My favorite one, so I'm going to keep using it. And then here's my husband's bowl. Okay. And we're going to get the toppings going. All right. So there's the bowls. I got you on the stand now. So we're to free up my hand here. Oh, the hot dogs, chili rice. You just
I don't know if
I'll go ahead.
that was some of the dirt, fine dirt on it.
Oh yeah, show that again.
After I poured it out, this is what was left. Yeah.
So very important
Yep.
to, because I don't know if you ever watched videos, but a long time ago we watched videos and they basically have all of it on this huge conveyor belt, and it just, you're still going to get dirt and stuff on it. And it gets transported to the stores. It gets loaded onto the trucks, right? So it goes from the, just say farm, from the spinach farm, right? Loaded onto the truck. And then the, what am I trying to say? Well, they have a distribution center or not. It'll go to the distribution center. And then again, if not, it'll go directly to the store, but most likely to a distribution center. And then from the distribution center, it gets loaded again by the employees onto a truck. Then it gets unloaded again, and then the grocery store puts it out on the shelf. So just think of all those hands and processes that it's went through before it ends up inside your mouth, right? So that's what we think about when, even though it says triple wash, quadruple wash, we still washing it. We cannot eat that without washing it. Like I said, cooked, I'm not going to be too much of a stickler, even though we still wash it. But, I think about that. I worked in restaurants growing up. And back in the day, I remember they used to get heads of lettuce in. And we used to have to, funny story, put it in a sink and put water on it and wash it. And then they would put it in these giant brute trash cans with ice water to crisp it up. And I never forget, I was 16 years old, first job. It was actually at a fast food restaurant, and super nice. Her name was Joyce. I never forget. Joyce was pretty darn cool. I mean, she was a stickler for cleanliness, and I mean, she was just just an awesome lady, just fun. You know, she would be the one who would sit there at closing shift. She would come out. I mean, hair was always pulled back and nice, uniform, crisp, shoes clean, that kind of lady, right? So she would go through and she would check and get the squeegee out and check up on all the equipment. And if the guys in the kitchen didn't, if she had anything to come away from the front of that equipment, she would go get hot bleach, soapy water, throw it all over the floor. They would have to scrub it and squeeze it again until she would went up under each piece of equipment and nothing came out. So anyway, she was the one that told me about, you know, how to wash lettuce to get it crisp. That's how I learned that trick. She said because it crisped it up because it would come in kind of like wilted off the trucks. Well, she tells me to wash the lettuce, and I knew no better, so I'm filling up the sink with hot water. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm going to wash the lettuce." She told me to wash the lettuce. And she just gave me that bless you child look, and she was like, "You got to wash it in cold water, Sonia, so it doesn't wilt. The cold water, you can't wash lettuce in warm water like you do dishes." And I'm like, "Oh, who knew?" So a little funny story. And I never did forget that I was 16 years old back then. Are the hot dogs done? So my husband's made the hot dogs. I'm just cutting up. And it's, like I said, it's important to have good kitchen shears, good kitchen knives. Good. You can just turn it off if you want to, unless you want to grab a plate and start, you know, I just want one. And start putting our hot dogs on the plate. Now, right here, use this one because you're not going to be able to get to the one above my head right now. Alright, he's trying to get above my... Hold on, I'm going to have to put y'all on pause so he can get a plate. Alright, so he's doing that. Now, if I don't use all these peppers, that's fine. It'll go back in the refrigerator because these were done this morning. And we'll use them for tomorrow. We'll just put them right back in the rotation. Just like I did the jerky just now. And then one thing we like about having the little mini sweet peppers, especially if you find it, you don't have to worry about de-seeding them like you would a huge pepper because the seeds are so small. And as you can see, as I'm cutting it, just in case you're not familiar with the small peppers. Did you take the rice out so it can start cooling just a hair? Now the thing with the rice, I always like to, or anything, sometimes we'll put, and yes, our counter is clean, so that's going right in there. Sometimes we use corn on a salad. And then what I'll do is I'll let it cool just a little bit so it's not piping hot, but we're, all right. And see, there's the seed. So that's cool, and as you can see, and this is going to be my husband's, this one's mine, and we're going to have 2 peppers left, so I'm just going to set those off to the side. When I was growing up, I ate tons of salad, so my husband makes fun and calls me the salad master because I can make a salad out of anything and everything because that's what I did growing up. So there's no toppings off limits. Now this is some jalapeno. And I'm cutting it around because the membrane is where it's going to be the hottest. And since we're having that mango habanero jerky on top, I don't want it to be too spicy because my husband did say once I paused it, he said, "That is spicy." I was like, "Yeah, it's going to be, but once we add it to the salad, between the greens and the milder flavor items, it will dull down a lot of that heat to where it won't be too bad." So I'm just going to put a couple jalapenos. I think that's going to be the last one, and then that'll go back in the refrigerator to the right hand side. So that way we'll know that that needs to go back into the rotation for another dish. Now here's the beef. Now I know it probably doesn't look as pretty, but it is delicious. I tried some earlier before I had my husband try it, And it is good, and it tastes just like a spicy version of Veggie. All right, getting every last little bit out of there. All right, let's put that in the sink. Now we're going to open up our calorie packet of, and this is what I do. I just kind of share the love between the two. There we go. See how that was just a little bit, but that didn't go to waste, didn't go bad. Let's rinse some of that off. Now my little tomato is already been washed, but I'm just going to give it one more little rinse. I had a knife drying on this paper towel, so let's hit that there. Now I'm going to put that over the sink just in case tomatoes want to shoot out everywhere, which has known to happen. Alright. Trim the end off. Now, when we do tomatoes, I see all that part there. Sometimes I scrape that out. I don't want it in our salads. Just leave the kitchen shears spring loaded. Just makes it so much easier. Especially, you know, if you have any kind of issues with your hands. If you have a good pair of kitchen shears, the shears do the work when you have to cut stuff up. As you can see, I haven't used a knife for anything in this preparation of this salad. So a little tomato for each. Alright, let's see what else I got. Oh, almost pistachios. Alright, we're just going to put some of these pistachios on top. Just enough to add a little crunch. Alright. And since we're having rice, and I don't want any ketchup on mine, you know that, right?
Just
mustard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yours in the oven. Keep them warm.
Alright. My husband's doing the hot dogs, and I'm going to show you that. And as you can see between the talking, I mean, we're almost, is that still hot? Not too bad. We are ready to eat here within 15 minutes. Just by having, now here's the rice. Now what I do is I just sprinkle just a little rice. Now my husband's not a big fan of the rice on the salad like I am, so I'll put just a little bit on his. And it smells so good. This rice is what was cooked in the chicken broth. If you want to grab the ranch out. And as you can see, there it goes. That's all of that out of the refrigerator. And then, now this ranch, oops, first time we tried it, I really like it, guys. Light buttermilk ranch. Tastes just like regular ranch, and it's a great value. You know, sometimes you get the ranch that has this weird, especially if it's light aftertaste. This one's really good. So we will get it again. We just got a small one to start out with. So when we go back, we'll get one for the pantry. Just drizzle. And what we'll do is we'll just drizzle a little bit of dressing over the top. And if we want more as we eat it down, we can. But we don't want to drown that in there because it just needs a little bit. And I want to show you our hot dogs. And we're going to have that with the rest of the tea. And we'll be good to go. I'll take this
That
one.
one's cold.
All right. And here is 3 hot dogs with chili, the beef hot dog, ketchup, and mustard. Alright. And he's going to put that in a toaster to heat it up some. And that's our salad. And thank you for watching. And I hope that you have grabbed you something good to eat.